Hey, what's up, guys? Let's see. All right, good morning, guys. Today is May 25th, and as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So this morning we did have some news, red folder news at 8:30, right? You normally have employment, unemployment claims coming out every Thursday. And then we had the GDP quarter on quarter. So right now, the only trade that I'm in is this gold sell. So this is off of the indicator, right? The breakout screener. So on news, right? The sell was down here. That's where I would normally enter the sell. But on news, right? Or if you ever want to be safe with any of my trades, always wait for the retest of the 9 EMA on whatever time frame you get a signal for. So today, because I knew this was a heavy news candle, instead of entering a sell down here, I waited for the retest of the 9 EMA on gold on the 15-minute time frame. And you can see right now I'm currently up about 50 pips because I'm going for 100 pips. So, right, there's just a lot of entries you can use with this screener. But that's the only trade. I mean, I'm only in that trade with one in one account because I'm going like a heavy lot size. So let's see what's up with US 30. So as usual, draw our trend lines. And before I start, yesterday I did post in the group, right? There was a scammer who might have DM'd a couple of you guys offering copy trading services. So I do not, and I will probably never offer copy trading services. I will also never DM you first. So I actually changed even my username in the Discord to have the connotation I never DM first. So if you get somebody who's pretending to be me, and I'm guessing I found the person or I found the account and kicked them out or banned them. But right, if you get somebody pretending to be me and then some of these scammers are so dumb, they'll probably just copy I never DM first, right? So if you get somebody pretending to be me and they have I never DM first, right? That's a red flag. So I'll never DM anybody first. The other part, if you do get somebody pretending to be me, you can post it in the group and then just tag me in the group and ask if that's legit. Also, right, you guys already know my voice and you guys know that I offer one-on-ones with you guys. So if somebody tries to DM you and offer anything and you're still not sure and you just want confirmation, ask, okay, I know you normally offer to have one-on-ones. Can we schedule a one-on-one together? Right? More than likely they'll say no, because for me, I'm always open to asking questions or answering questions. So, right, if you do, and if they do decide to do a one-on-one with you, you can tell that the voice is probably not going to be mine, right? So yeah, just be careful and this is going to go up, like accounts pretending to be me are going to go up because right now I'm in talks with some promoters to promote our group. So definitely we are going to get more attention in the group. But just as a disclaimer, be careful. Anybody, I do not offer any copy trading services or to any accounts. So just be careful about anybody who reaches out trying to offer that. All right. So here for US 30, we'll just have our trend lines. Let's see, where do I want to draw it from? I'll do this one. These hourly ones we drew yesterday are still holding. We do have a 15-minute bullish low right here. We do have a weekly low and monthly low. However, all our bearish and bullish markups are all the way up there. So US 30 is in a zone of no man's land right now. But you can see, right, this candle closed below the static trend line, and then today's session is also not going to stay for that long as I have other commitments. But you can see this current candle is retesting the static trend line that was broken. So this might be a sell on US 30 if this candle closes. Give me 1 second. So US 30 is both below the 9 EMA and 200 EMA. US 30 is definitely bearish. It just formed a death cross. So yes, this would be a sell if this candle goes ahead and closes. But we definitely need this candle to close below that static trend line. Regarding the TP and stop loss, nowadays I'm going for 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. It's just easier on the mind as well. But we definitely want our stop loss to be above the 200 EMA right here. Because keep in mind, this candle can break and come in this zone. We also do have a 15-minute bullish high and low here. So a 50 pip TP and stop loss, because I also do see price retesting possibly the 9 EMA, right? So remember, our entries are normally either retest of a trend line, retest of the 9 EMA, or retest of structure, right? So structure is currently right here. So structure is coinciding with retest of the trend line. However, the best entry would be this retest of the 9 EMA, which is right here. So if this candle closes below this static trend line, there is a possibility price is not going to push up back to the 9 EMA in the short term. So if this candle closes below the trend line, I will use 100 pip TP and stop loss. If it closes above, I'll wait for the retest of the 9 EMA. So for this one, since I'm looking to enter on the retest, yeah, and I'll just set this up right now. This account up. And also I'm still in the gold cell, so I'm not really looking for too much. Okay, yeah, 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. So we have about a minute for that to go on. So gold, I'm in a gold cell. Looking at gold on the hourly time frame, this is the structure we are looking at, right? So gold has started slowly completing this structure right here. So there's this structure from the bottom, formed that, formed this, formed that. So gold at the very least should come back to around 1812 at some point. But right now, looking at the structure to the left, it already, so yesterday, if you guys remember during the live session, I did mention if gold comes back to the, I think we have 40 seconds for US 30. If gold comes back to the 1950 area, they're going to break that. And you see that happen today during the news session, and gold dropped to like 1944. Give me 1 second. Let me look at US 30. Yeah, so this is, I'm still going to wait. So this is, we just need to be patient. Yeah, so for this entry, no entry on US 30 because I don't think the candle will close below the static trend line. So no need to FOMO or hop into anything. So we always want to have that confirmation. Let's see. Yeah. So no entry for this trade. I'll still wait for the trade down here, but I will wait for the same, and I'm still not going to enter right here. I'll wait for the same confirmation, a candle to close below this static trend line and retest and close below to get that proper confirmation. But right now, US 30 is just risky and might be trying to trap people. So yeah, yesterday during the live session, I said if gold comes back to 1950, it will break that zone because it had already tested twice. But in the short term, I do expect some retracement to the upside for gold. But eventually, I do expect gold to complete this structure around 1850, 1800 area. So that's my analysis for gold on the long term. Looking also, right, and look at where gold is rejecting on. So for those of you guys who have access to the indicators, they use this, you see price is rejecting exactly from the hourly bearish high zone, hourly bearish high, 4-hour bearish high. So this I think, is it on gold we had a 4-hour bullish zone? No, I think that was probably EU. So this 4-hour bearish zone overrides the hourly bullish zone actually technically the hourly bearish high cancels out the hourly bullish low. So all we are left is a 4-hour bearish high, which would override any other bullish zone up here. So you can see they use the 4-hour bearish high right here exactly to the pip to bring price down. I don't know if that was the news candle. What time frame? Oh, this is the 4-hour. I'm sorry. This should be the 5-minute. So let's see if we can see that better once the indicator loads. So that was yesterday, 4-hour bearish low. Where was it? Hourly. So it was somewhere up here. 4-hour, yeah. So you can see that that was actually yesterday because I was looking at the 4-hour time frame. So if we reset this, you can see they use the 30-minute bearish high and low to bring price down. And this is during news, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like if you have access to this during the news, before the news session, you could have turned that on, turned on the bearish, the zones right here. You can see we had a supply zone within a supply zone here, supply zone within a supply zone here. We have a 30-minute bearish high. Right, it was more, gold was more likely to sell during news than to buy, because you can see we didn't have any demand zones for gold whatsoever, right? So we had supply zones up here, supply zones within supply zones. We also had a 30-minute bearish high and low. So at that point, that was a no-brainer to buy. I'm sorry, to enter a sell on gold. So right now on gold, I'll just reset this. So on the hourly time frame, I really don't see, other than this static trend line to the upside. To the downside, this one, this high low to this high low right here. But currently I'm in a sell for gold. This is the sell that I'm in right here. And actually it's a heavy trade. Yeah, so you can see the important, so during, if you're going to trade the breakout screener during news, don't enter on the news candle. Wait for that retracement to the 9 EMA, and then enter at that point. And remember that a retracement of the 9 EMA does not need a candle to close. You just want that quick retracement, and then you enter into the trade. Just 1 second, let me see something. Are there any questions regarding anything, any trades you guys took today? So we are still waiting for US 30. For any buys on US 30, let's see. Okay, so you do see this static trend line that's being respected. In 11 minutes, this hourly candle will close. For any buys, I would want to see this hourly candle close above this static trend line. And I'll be taking a quick buy on US 30 on the retracement of the next hourly candle, if that makes sense. So we've gone over this pattern on how to trade static trend lines on the hourly. So that's how I'll be doing it. So for my buyers to change to a bullish bias on US 30 in the next 10 minutes, I need this hourly candle to close above this static trend line. For me to take a sell on US 30, I need this. I need a candle to break this static trend line on the 5-minute, and I need another 5-minute candle to retest and close below the static trend line. So that's how I'll work, either a buy or either a sell on US 30. So for the buy, I need, right, we have 10 minutes to see if we're going to get a buy. For the sell, same thing, we have about 10 minutes. So there's nothing we can do in US 30 until 10 minutes are over. Gold, you can see gold is coming from a demand zone within a demand zone. However, it's not a buy that I would take, especially because I don't have any markups. You see the difference between the sell that took place. We had a 30-minute bearish high and low. Right now for gold, we do not have anything to bring gold back up. We only have this monthly low and weekly low. Other than that, I just don't buy or sell based off of supply and demand zones by themselves. So I'm not looking for anything with gold. I'm still actually in the sell. And I think my stop loss is at break even. For Euro USD, my static trend line on the hourly, which is right here. And then the other one possibly right there. And then on the 5-minute, that's what we have. I really don't like the one from the upside. I don't like drawing trend lines that cut through candles. So I try as much as possible not to cut through a bunch of candles. So EU, you can see EU, it's either we're going to keep dipping, right? Because you can see we have a daily bearish high. So price is stuck between a daily bullish high and daily bearish high. So for EU, to be safe, I would wait, I would have wanted to see maybe a 4-hour bullish high, 1-hour bullish high in order for me to maybe catch a buy earlier. But right now, EU is in a downtrend. You can see even the static candle on the hourly, EU can keep falling to around 1.06948, which will be below the daily bearish high. So for me to take either a buy or sell, for a buy on EU, I need a closure above the daily bullish high, and then retest and closure above. For the sell on EU, I need a closure below the daily bearish high, and then a retest and closure below. So EU, you need to wait for around 1.07327 for a buy, and for a sell, you need to wait around 1.06984. Yeah, so EU, I'm not going to look for any trades on EU right now. So this is what we are waiting on for US 30. So it seems like this hourly candle might close above here, and you can see we already formed another static trend line to the downside. So this is good. Regarding positioning, so price is stuck between these two static trend lines, right? So this one and then this one. Also, let's see what channel we're in. Guessing we might be in like a horizontal channel. So neither bullish, neither bearish, right? So US 30 is consolidating right now. So that's fine. So that's not helping us too much in looking for anything. So let's see on the hourly what channel we are in. On the hourly, I'm guessing we might as well be consolidating as well too. No, actually, we are in a downtrend for the hour, but you can see, right, we are going towards the green channel, right, the bullish channel. So we have about 6 more minutes before we get either a buy or a sell on US 30. Now, again, for the buy that I'll be taking on US 30, if this hourly candle closes above this static trend line, it's one of those trades you only have one shot and one shot only. And for those trades, I do recommend maybe going for 10 or 20 pips instead of the whole move. Because the proper confirmation for a buy on US 30, if we get this hourly trend line closing above this static, hourly candle closing above this static trend line, the ideal confirmation for a buy would be the next hourly candle, right? Because ideally we would want the next hourly candle to retest and also close above to confirm that the buy is valid. But for this buy that I'll be taking, if this hourly candle closes above this static trend line, is to catch the early buy if the buy is to become valid in the long term. Yeah, so right now US 30, I mean, I do like how we do have this 15-minute bullish high and low, but we have about 20 seconds. That's for the 5-minute candle. For the hourly close, we have about 5 more minutes. Yeah, so I can take any questions if you guys have any questions. Because we're not really going to get any entry until the hourly candle on US 30 closes. So EU, I already said I'm not looking for anything in between this daily bullish high and daily bearish high. So I'm not looking for any trades on EU. Regarding the breakout scanner.
Bro, before we just go on that,
regarding the breakout scanner, let's see what we have. Breakout scanner. Okay, so OddJPY again, right? I don't like trading breakouts on some of these pairs that move weirdly, but OddJPY is actually a good pair to trade. I like OddJPY. You can easily catch a long move on OddJPY, but you always have to focus on structure. So OddJPY is breaking out for a sell. So right, this is what I normally talk about. If the sell already showed up and you didn't get it, so this was the ideal place to get into a sell. So this wasn't a news candle. This was post news, right? Because news candle was maybe this candle or whatnot. So yeah, so odd JPY is already gone. So I wouldn't enter odd JPY. Yeah, but that would be the sell you could have taken for odd JPY. But I don't like entering, catching breakouts after the fact or after they've already gone away. Euro AUD is breaking out for a buy. So this is still the candle, but for Euro AUD, if I look at structure, what do I see? Euro AUD is already the buys to catch on Euro AUD was somewhere down here, or down here. The reason I'm saying that, so we do have this structure on Euro AUD, this dip, then this retracement. So yes, it is possible for Euro AUD to come back to 1.66448, but I did say for any continuations, I need to find entries that are just when the structure is starting to be completed. Now, as much as Euro AUD can come this way, Euro AUD can, because this looks like we're about 50% of this structure. So this is not a buy that I would take. The reason for that is, so remember, right? If structure is to always be completed, markets will almost always be sideways. So Euro AUD can form a trend line somewhere here. So it can, so this was a trend line right here, and you can see it broke above, retested it, and went above. But it can still come back down to this trend line. So Euro AUD is not a buy that personally I would take. It is a valid buy, but for me, the probability of it going straight into profit is not as high. GU is breaking out for a sell. Wait, I don't want to miss US 30. So we have 1 minute, about 1 minute. We should be able to analyze GU. And you see how they're using the 15-minute bullish high and low to push price up. So that's good. So we have about 1 minute. GBP USD breaking out for a sell. So that's the sell candle. Let's look at structure. So there's really no structure on GU, right? I think it's actually going to the downside. So yeah, GU hasn't been in. So it's definitely completing structure to the downside. The US dollar currently is strong, but anyway, I'm in a gold sell. So again, right, if you're entering some of these breakouts, just make sure you're not entering too many positions that are going in the same direction. Okay, let's see, we have 40 seconds. So it looks like this hourly candle, we needed to close above this trend line. So I'll leave this down here. Actually, I'll remove that because it looks like instead we will get a long position. But we need, okay, perfect. We need that hourly candle to close. Okay, so here's where we start thinking about stop loss, right? So entry would ideally, if that hourly candle closes, we need to enter on the retest of the static trend line. So this is tricky, right? Because it's closing in and around. So, okay, I will enter this trade with 100 pip TP, 100 pip stop loss for US 30. Is this the right trade? US 30 buy. Yeah, so that's the trade right there. Is this, what account is this? Yeah, so that's the trade I am in for US 30. I will enter in this other account. US 30 cash. Okay, and there you go. I missed it on my other account, but I caught it on one of the challenge accounts that I have. Even though my accounts are acting crazy, wanting to freeze, but that's the trade right there, right? So I did mention if this one closes above the static trend line, we expect a retest of the hourly trend line, of the hourly static trend line, and then we expect a push to the upside. So I'm in this trade currently, and I don't like how my terminals are freezing. This is, I hate when this happens. So if you're 50% in profit, go ahead and set break even. So 50% would be around 86 area. And we do have this golden potential golden cross coming in. Okay. Okay. So let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, so GU, I really wouldn't enter GU because I'm already in some gold trade. Also, the US dollar has been strong for a while now. There definitely can be some reversals. So for this one, there's something, let me see if I can, since it came back down and I didn't catch it on this other account of mine. Okay. And then the other thing that I'll do, let me turn this zones off. Yeah, we do have sellers up there. But for me, I'm riding on this retest to the upside. So as much as we have sellers there, so I don't really care about sellers up here if we don't have any bearish markups. You know what I mean? So if we did have like an hourly or a 4-hour bearish markup up here, then I would be cautious. But right now, it's just sellers that are right here. So for me, with this buy is this retracement, and then we have this 15-minute bullish. So remember, you want to look at what is around you. Don't be worried about these sellers that are up there. So long as we don't have a bearish, or so long as we don't have a bearish order block, that shouldn't worry you. All right, perfect. So let's see, what else do we have right here? So I was saying, yeah, GU is not a sell that I would enter. CAD CHF, I really, right, this CHF pairs normally move weird, so I'm not really looking to enter them, but let's see, CAD CHF. CAD CHF. CAD CHF is breaking out for a sell. So same thing, right? Look at structure. Ideally, I would want to look at structure on the 1 hour. So I'll see if I can find a way. I can break this down into 2 charts. But right now, CAD CHF, I just see a bunch of consolidation, potential inverse, potential head and shoulders, right, on the 15-minute time frame. So you have head, right shoulder here, or left shoulder, head right here, and then right shoulder, and then potential to the downside. So actually, CAD CHF might be good for a sell. Yeah, and we would be catching this sell from the top. Let's see if the sell already, what candle the sell went to. Yeah, so CAD CHF, it already left, so it is what it is. So this would have been the candle, the entry for CAD CHF right there. Yeah, 40 pips, TP, 40 pips, stop loss. Yeah, so I'm not going to enter, right? I don't like entering trades when it's too late. So that was a good sell to enter for CAD CHF. But other than that, there really is no other breakout to watch out for. Okay, so I'll take off the zones now, but just know there are, and we do have a potential golden cross coming in on the 5-minute. So if this golden cross materializes, we should shoot into TP. Our stop loss is below the 15-minute bullish high and low, so that's perfect. So I'll take off these zones for now. I'm not concerned that we have sellers here, ideally because we don't have any bearish markups that are anywhere around there. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, and hopefully I'm not muted, but yeah, and I'll be ending the live session early today in like another 5 or 10 minutes. I'll be ending the live session. I have another commitment to work on, but hopefully we hit TP before then. So what else do we have? Gold. So gold potential, if we get a high low, so this is a hanging trend line. The reason it's a hanging trend line is because we don't have an established high low. But if we get a high low established here, gold might be reversing back to the upside, because you can automatically tell it came up from this demand zone within a demand zone and is pushing back up. So this is a potential area where a high low can be created. If that's created, then gold would be reversing to the upside. So we'll just wait for that. EU, you can see how EU is pushing up. If we do get a closure above this daily bullish high, I will be entering EU, but that will more than likely happen after the live session. Let's see. So gold for right now is a little bullish. EU is a little bullish. US 30 is still a little bit indecisive, but you can see where the rejections are coming from, the 15-minute bullish high and low. But this was the importance of having a little bit of a wider stop loss. Where I would be concerned with this trade is only if we get a closure below this static trend line. But so long as this 15-minute bullish high and low holds, we should get a reversal back to the upside. What else? What else do we have? So I went over the breakouts, the current breakouts. Yeah, I really don't have anything else other than the trade we are in. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, but I will be ending the live session in the next 3 or 5 minutes or so. Also, if US 30 does come back down and break, you see we have this static trend line on the hourly, right? So it looks like our stop loss is a little bit below this static trend line. Our stop loss is around what, 33,635 area. So that's good enough because we do have also this static trend line on the hourly to our help. Now, this, based on how this trade goes, it's a trade that I may even write for 200 pips, because if we get a reversal back, like for example, if this candle reverses and closes like as a bullish hammer candle, because I can see them trying to fake buyers out right now, right? The buyers or the smart buyers like us who've seen this trend being broken, potentially being broken. So I can see them faking stopping people out before pushing back up. So if we do survive this trade and they push US 30 back up, in any case, I might extend my stop loss or my TP to like twice what it is right now, because we will be getting a golden cross, and then price would ideally be pushing from this 15-minute bullish high and low. But other than that, does anybody have any questions? I really have to drop off technically right now.
Yeah, bro.
All right. If not, this is a valid trade, so just let it do what it's going to do. If it does hit stop loss, just let it hit stop loss. There's always going to be other trades. The key thing is to notice, right? What are we looking for in this trade, right? We have two static trend lines on the hourly, so it will be the same. Even though you want to re-enter, let's say, right, worst case scenario, we get stopped out. Observe what happens at this static trend line right here. This static trend line to the downside, observe what happens around it. We should get a quick reaction from this static trend line. Any questions from anyone? Okay, perfect. I will see you guys. Is it tomorrow? Do we have? I think we do have a live session. Yeah. I'll be on vacation also. The whole of next week. I'll try to run some live sessions now that I have automated my markups and everything. We can have live sessions when I'm on vacation, so that's fine. I mean, I don't mind. It's just an hour a day. So yeah, I'll try to see what if we can do live sessions next week, but you guys have access to all the tools that I have, and you have access to all my strategies. So go ahead and do, and so long as you're using proper risk management. The other thing, I was just thinking about this yesterday. If you have a 100K and you have a funded 100K account, and you're having challenges either maintaining consistency, aim to only make 1,000 a week, right? So that's my policy. If you have a 100K account, aim to make 1,000 a week. That's like $4,000 a month. That's like 50 grand a year. Stop trying to make $10,000. You are most definitely going to blow your account. I cannot insist that enough. If you've just started being consistent and you started getting funded, stop trying to make 20,000. If you're not making 20,000, you're not really going to make any difference. If you try to make those huge numbers, trust me, you will blow your account. And you can even aim to make $500 a month on a 500K account, right? People can tell you, oh, why are you trying to make $500 a week and you only have a 500K account? So remember, it's your money that you're spending. You only pay like what, 500 to get a 100K account. So even though you make 1,000 a week, you'll have paid off your account. The goal here is to be consistent in like a month, in like 6 months, right? As much as other people might tell you, oh, why are you making 500 a month with a 500K account, why you can make more. Remember, the same people who try to get that into your psychology, when you're suffering and they quote unquote are trying to showing that they're making millions or whatever, remember that when you're suffering, if you ask them for even rent money or whatever because you tried to be like them, they're not going to help you. So be disciplined. If you get funded, don't try to make a lot of money. Hey, even you can make $50 a day with a 100K account. I can assure you, you will be consistent. Now, right? Other people can ask, people can say, okay, what if you hit your max drawdown, like at maybe you hit a drawdown of 3% and you've been making $50 a day, right? Trust me, you're not going to hit 3,000 drawdown just by trying to make $50 a day. If you do hit that, it means that you're over leveraging. So the key is use proper risk management. Find a setting that can, with a 100K account, give you comfortably $100 a month. If you're, I'm sorry, $1,000 a week. If you'll struggle to make that $1,000 a week, forget about the people who make 1,000 or 5,000 a day. Say, okay, for me, based on my skill level, I can comfortably make $20 a day, even on a 100K account. Make those $20 a day, which is what, 100 a week. That's 400 a month, consistently for 6 months. After that, right, do the same thing but double your lot size, and that's how you'll grow as a trader. Other than that, trust me, you will keep blowing your accounts. And when you do the math, you'll be like, shit, even though I had a 100K account and I was just making 50 a day, by this time of the year, I would have already made 5,000. But at that point, maybe you've blown $4,000 on challenges. So it's also heavily on psychology. Forget about the people who try to make tens of, right? For me, I'll promise you guys, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even close to being one. I'm not yet there as a trader, right? The day I'll be there as a trader, I will be honest with you guys. But for me, right, the money I'm making, like I posted the other day, I made a $5,000 loss, right? Not a lot of people will even post when they make huge losses like that. So even for me, I'm still struggling with some of these things as a trader. But for me, I chose to be honest to myself. I'm like, okay, to me, what am I comfortable making at the end of the day? Not what Livy makes a day, not what Audrey makes a day. For me, and on my skill set and where I'm at as a trader, if it's $10 a day, man, I don't care if somebody else is making 10,000 a day. In any case, I'll try and learn, okay, what are they doing that I can do that? But I'm not going to kill my account trying to be like somebody else. So that's just something I was thinking about the other day, and was hoping I can share with you guys, and hopefully can be beneficial to somebody. But other than that, unless anybody has any question, I will see you guys tomorrow. Does anybody have a question?
Yeah, bro. Just one thing. I
All right,
think I've
perfect.
told you.
And stay away from scammers, right? If in doubt, post that in the group. More than likely, it's not going to be me, especially if somebody's DMing you as the first person. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Trade safe. Bye.